Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my Canada experience, my how it started, how the beginning of everything. Because since I came here, I've had a lot of people ask me, Esther, tell me your story. How did you do it? When did this start? That. I mean, if I should start counting the number of questions I've answered since I got here, I think it would be enough for me to have opened a travel agency, right? Because a lot of people have questions. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about how everything started, how the whole process, basically, at least to my own experience, right? Because everybody's experience is unique and all that. So let's dive right into it. January 2021. Yup, that was when my whole story started. I mean, so it's like it took like a year and a few months. No, is it a few months? Yeah, maybe not. So I don't even know where I want to start from, because it was just a whole lot, right? It was a whole lot. This thing is a whole lot. It is serious. It is not joking. It is not playing. You have to be ready to put in the work and all that. So in January 2021, I started applying to schools. I applied to schools in the US and in Canada, right? Yeah, all by myself. Yeah, because I've had people ask me, did you use an agent? Is this? No, I didn't use an agent. I was in charge of my admission. So I think I was just on the internet. No, I think it was my brother that sent me the link to apply for the school. This particular school that I'm at now, Mount Allison University, was not part of like the plans. I had schools in mind in the US and in Canada. So this school was just, I didn't even plan to come here, right? So my brother was just on the internet this day and he was just scrolling and just saw the school. So he saw that the tuition was 9K. It was like a flyer or something, and then they put like the tuition was 9K. And my brother was like, I check out this school, like apply to this school. I'd applied to some other schools. Like, apply to this school because their tuition is 9K. You get that kind of thing. Or it's a lie, your tuition is not 9K. So we thought that it was 9K, right? And we're like, oh, this school is cheaper than all the schools that we've been seeing. This will be a perfect school, It's in Canada, this, that. So I applied to this school. But before I applied here, okay, I had some pending in the US, and my US admission came before here. And like I said, the other schools that I applied to, they were like more expensive, right? So this school in the UK and the US was in, I think, Pennsylvania, and the tuition was a lot. And then we're like, okay, you see, you've gotten this admission, but just chill, right? And let's wait for this school that the tuition is 9K. Let's wait for this school that has tuition of 9K. So I had applied in January, February, March. My admission did not come. In March, I had to message them like, oh, you guys, what's up? I applied to this school since now. Why are you guys not answering me? I have admission from other schools waiting for me. Why are you guys wasting my time? That kind of thing. I need to know, because, yeah, that kind of stuff. And they told me that that was not how I said it. I said it in a very formal way, trust me. So they were like, they're still processing my admission. It's still going to take a while, And I'm like, oh, okay. So I kept on waiting. One thing this travel abroad thing will teach you is patience. If you're not patient, just forget it, because they will humble you. This is just school. I've not even gotten to IRCC and all that, this, that. So my admission took 4 months. They eventually answered me like a few days after my birthday. I think April 12th. Yeah, I think April 12th. I can't remember in particular. My birthday was April 8th. A few days after my birthday, I was even thinking, I was saying, God, I want a birthday gift. Give me this admission. No, let me go, that kind of stuff. But it didn't come. But a few days after my birthday, I got my admission. Like, yeah, admission is here. Finally. Okay, I have the admission. I still didn't. Okay, it was after my admission came. So when they send you your admission, they send you a letter of acceptance, and after you get that, the letter of acceptance comes with the fees and all that, right? So when I got the admission and I opened it, I saw the breakdown of the tuition. Tuition was over 19k. So apparently the 9k that we saw on the flyer on the internet was for domestic students. Like if you're from Canada, normally international students pay a higher price than domestic students. So that price was for domestic students. International students was 19k, was over 19k, and then that was just the tuition. There was this, you have to pay for this, that, other stuff. At the end of the day, the tuition was adding up to like over 36k. It was just remaining small thing for it to enter 37k. And my folks were like, from 9k to 36 or 37k. We were like, okay, it's not bad. It's still better than the other schools that you've gotten, right? Especially this school in the US, the fees was like over 66k, and they're like, oh, this is like half of that. Okay, so let's just proceed. And me, before now, I've never left the country, I've never traveled, I've been in Nigeria all my life. Where am I going? You won't Jeremy law, that kind of stuff. So after I got my admission, I had to go and apply for my passport because I didn't have a passport. And in Nigeria, all these kind of things, it takes forever. I applied for my passport. I got my admission on the 12th. On the 13th, I tried to go, but I don't even know what happened. I ended up going on the 14th to start my application and all that, everything. My passport took like April, May, June. I got my passport in June. They were saying something about no paper. I don't know if anybody experienced it, but that was like the most frustrating thing, because that was what I needed to apply for my IRCC, my study permit. You have to have a passport, right? So I was like waiting for my passport. No passport, no passport. Passport took like 3 months again. I'm like, hey, wahala. And school is supposed to resume in September. So June, July, August, I had 2 months for my visa application. So I got my visa when not my visa, rather my passport in June. So while I was waiting for my passport, I was already gathering the documents that I need for my study permit and all that. I don't want this video to be too long, so in another video I'm going to talk about the documents, the things that you need to apply for your study permit, writing your SOP, your statements, all of those things, because visa is another thing on its own, right? Because I was rejected the first time. So that's going to be in another video. So I waited. While I was waiting for my passport, I started gathering all my documents for my visa application, and that was going well. I mean, that went well. I even had to do my medicals up front. So once my passport comes out, I just gather everything and just submit to IRCC. So in between, like, I was hoping that they would reply me in the space of 2 months to enable me resume in September, right? But that did not happen. So I got my passport in June, and after I got my passport, like a few weeks later, say 2 weeks, because I still had some things pending, documents and all that. So say 2 weeks after I applied for my visa. Did I apply for my visa in June? It was in July, because I did not get, because I did not get what's it called now? Oh my god, I was remembering this just now. What's it called now? I did not get appointments for my medicals. Yeah, because there were a lot of people. Medicals are another thing that takes time, a whole lot of time, especially if you want to do it in Lagos. I was starting to lose hope already. Like, I don't think I'll be able to travel, because everything is just, it was as if everything was just working against me. No passports, no this, no that, right? No appointment dates. So my appointment date was in July, early July. Yes, I was supposed to like get my dates right before doing this, but I just wanted to freestyle, right? Because I can still remember everything like it was yesterday. So I got my whatever in appointment. I did it at Q Life in VI. in Lagos. Yeah, so it was early July, right? Because I could not jump queue. Normally, if I was supposed to go the normal way, I was supposed to just apply and then wait for IRCC to request for my medicals. But I figured that I didn't have the time, because on IRCC's website, the timeline for your visa application is like 3 months. That's like the minimum. Some people don't come earlier or later than that, right? But 3 months, I was like, oh, and I have only 2 months. How am I going to do this? So I just waited, and then after my medicals, I gathered all my documents, went to IRCC's website, applied. So as at like I think mid-July, my application was in, and immediately I submitted my application. I booked an appointment for my biometrics, and that was like the next day. I did my biometrics the next day. July, August, September, October. So September had passed when I was supposed to resume. So I'd already like, you know what, I don't think this thing is for me. Right? So I'd already like, oh, admission has passed. When no, not admission, resumption date has passed. Resumption date was supposed to be in September, but I was still hopeful. I then sent an email to my school and told them that I would like to defer my admission to winter, January, because IRCC is not replying me, and this is September already. I know I'm supposed to be in school, but I can't be in school because I don't have my study permit and that. So I deferred my admission to January 2022. That was last year. Yeah. So I waited September, October, and then my visa came in October, and it was a refusal. I was refused by IRCC. They said something about insufficient funds and that. And I'm sure that statement that time, it was, I don't know what happened. They just said, I didn't even bother to apply for my GMCS. That note that you shall apply for after they deny you, to let you know the reasons for your refusal and all that. I didn't bother to do that. I went ahead to reapply. Obviously, that's why I'm here now, right? But I've not gotten to that part of the story yet. Don't let me jump the gun. So they shall refuse me because of something about insufficient money in their accounts, this, that. They shall did their thing. So I'm like, you know what, let me just focus on my school, because at the time I was in Unilab. But then my folks were like, okay, this is why they did it. Well, between the time you applied and now that they've refused your visa, you know, more money has come in, the statement has gone up, let's try to reapply. So after I got rejected in October, I reapplied in November with another statement, you know, a higher statement. And remember that I deferred my admission to, what's it called, to winter, that's January 2022, and here I am reapplying in November 2021, and that's like how many months? November, December. I only had like 1 month then, and I knew that this thing was not coming in 1 month. So I knew that in my mind I would have to like reapply, defer my admission again, right? So I reapplied in November, and I was waiting November, December, January, nothing from IRCC still. And January is when I'm supposed to resume. I sent another email to school saying, oh, I reapplied though, but IRCC has still not answered me, and I know that I'm supposed to resume in this January, but can you do me the favor of deferring my admission to September? So I was still within the range of deferral. So what happens here is that after you get your admission, at least for this school, for Mount A, after you get your admission, you can only defer for like a year. After a year, your admission is no longer valid. Your admission is no longer valid. They'll have to withdraw your admission. But I was still in that range. I still had a year. I just deferred twice. I deferred from till September, then till January. So I just deferred. Is that twice? No, once. I still had another chance to defer. And it was in 2021, I had to pay, I think, 250 Canadian dollars to hold my admission, right? By the time I was deferring again in January, I had to pay another 250 Canadian dollars to hold my admission again. If not, you're just deferring for why are you deferring for? We don't know you unless you pay this money. Like, okay, we're keeping a spot for you in this class, this, that. So I had to pay another money for them to keep my spots, and then I deferred from January to September 2022. As of January, IRCC has not replied me. Then in February, IRCC replied me. This is my second application, and in February it came, and when it came, it was an acceptance. Yay! Congratulations, your application has been approved. PPR, bring your passport for stamping. We're like, oh, for real, finally. So you can come now. This is when you're coming. I didn't even know that day. I think I went out that day, and I was out all day. I came back around like 10 p.m. at night, and I was just like, let me even check this thing, because I'd removed my mind completely. I didn't even want anything to be stressing me again, because this thing, you will just be checking. I'm like, I don't want to check anything again. I'll just wait till I get an email from IRCC. And that day, I think when I was out, I think I exhausted my data and I couldn't recharge. When I shall go home and I recharge, and I saw that, an email from IRCC. Wait, this was February, yeah. For real, I did not expect it, honestly. So it just came as a shocker. You know, that kind of stuff. I was shocked. So it came, finally I got my what's it called, my visa. Yeah, my visa in February 2022, and I deferred my admission to September. So there was no way I could travel. You can't have your admission, your school cannot be resuming in September and then you're traveling in February. Where are you going? They will allow you where you want to enter, right? So I had to stay in Nigeria for another 6 months before I could travel. So in the space of that 6 months, from February till I traveled in August 2022. So February 2022, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and it was even late August that I traveled. I think August 23rd-ish. And I got here on the 24th of August. Yeah, so I got my admission in not my admission. Why am I saying my admission? I got my visa in February 2022. And then I traveled in August 2022. So how long did that take? From January 2021 till August. No, not yet, till August 2022. That's like a year and 7 months. And some people, this thing like happens like sharp for them. I have one of my friend here. She's in Ontario. She applied and then her visa came in 2 weeks. So this thing is different. Everybody has their own. Everybody's own is different. That's why I said at the beginning that everybody's experience is unique. So this was like my story. Basically everything that happened, how I waited. I waited. You just have to be patient. You will not be patient, okay? They will teach you patience by force, by fire. You just have to be patient. But I didn't have a lot of issues because I was not all so bent on it. I didn't think it was at the beginning that I was thinking about it a lot, but I didn't later think about it a lot, and it was just something that was just on the sides. I mean, I had other things I was doing in Nigeria, so I was not bothered, like, so I was just there doing me, and eventually it came, and now I'm in Canada. That is my story, basically, how everything went. So in next video, which I'm going to be shooting, I don't know when yet, I'll be talking about the documents, how I wrote my SOP, what else? Yeah, I think those things, basically, how I applied to school, because I've had people ask me that, how did you apply to school? Can you apply to school for me? Do I need an agent? You know, all those kind of things, all those kind of questions, right? So in the next video, I'll be talking about those things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.